Good morning, Dan. How are you?
Good morning, Marianne. Good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Hey, are you organized? I'm sorry?
Am I early? Does it start at 8:30 or 9? I have conflicting information. 9? Okay.
Are you our man of the day?
I am your man of the day.
All right. I like that. Okay. So you want to hang out or you're?
Yeah, Sling said 8:30, but I looked at the docket online and it said 9, so I thought I'd check with you first. I guess I'll just come back on probably about 8:50 if that's all right with you.
That's cool. Okay, we'll see you in a few.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Why is the U.S. food cost up?
Mary Ann,
Yes, ma'am.
Gory never tried to come back.
No,
Ugh, jeez.
no, it wasn't Gory. It was Gee.
Gee, thank you.
Yep, yep. And I can't find them on our in our JIS at all.
I wonder if he's or they are supposed to be on with Judge Oakley.
Well, I don't even see him in JIS. I mean,
Oh,
that
yeah.
name, yeah.
What happened to Mr. Dixon?
Oh, he was just there. I don't know.
I know he was just there. I pulled his file.
Yep, I don't know what happened.
Okay, I was just getting set up in here.
It's really little.
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, what is your name, please?
Oh, Cynthia Benton, Benton.
Okay. You're scheduled at 9:10. So
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna leave you where you are. If you mute yourself, and when the judge calls your name, just unmute yourself.
Oh, okay. Will it come on bigger? Because all I got is a little square in the middle of my
No,
computer.
it'll probably stay that size.
Okay. All right. Just mute the
Yep,
speaker.
uh-huh. Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Uh,
Good morning, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi, what is your name, please?
My name's Russ Henson.
Oh, got it. Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
I need those headphones.
Hey, Dan, are you here for Leanna or is she gonna be here today?
She did not say anything to me about covering for her, so I assume she'll be here. What does she have?
Okay, all right. She just has one, there's one on the screen that is hers, and I didn't know if it was yours or if you were gonna do it or not.
Okay,
Okay. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Morning, Josh. How you doing?
Good, how you doing?
I'm great, thank you.
What's up, Josh?
How you doing?
I'm all right. You okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna send you email with all the police reports so you have them.
Okay.
I wonder if I sent it and said husband, wife.
Hey Josh, can we get a side room real quick?
Sure. Can I get a breakout room with Dan Bitar for a second?
Yep, 1 second.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Today is Thursday, February 17, 2022. My name is Judge Lisa Martin. This is courtroom number 1. Today's docket are misdemeanors and civil infractions from Romulus and Belleville. If you are not here for a misdemeanor or a civil infraction from either Romulus or Belleville, you are in the wrong courtroom. You should check your notice and get logged into the right location. Mary Ann.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Mijas and Mr. Hinson, his client, they're here.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yep.
Good morning, Your Honor. We're ready if you are.
I am trying to get ready. Let me pull the file and we'll get going. This is 21 RP 02377 OD. This is City of Romulus versus Russell Eugene Henson.
Joshua Kaplan on behalf of the people, then.
Your Honor, Harry Mihas, on behalf of Mr. Henson, we waive any right we have to a in-person hearing for today because of the pandemic and the apparent ease of doing this by video.
Thank you. Mr. Henson, would you state your name for the record, please, sir?
Yes, Russell Eugene Henson.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the adjourned pretrial in this matter. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we have a agreement that will settle this matter. The agreement would be to dismiss the OWI high BAC and to plead guilty to impaired.
Mr. Henson, were you able to hear Mr. Mihas just now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would you raise your right hand for me, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Do you understand that if the court accepts your plea to operating while visibly impaired this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine any witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Understand.
And you're doing this freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Henson, is it true that on August 7, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you operated a vehicle with a high blood alcohol content, that being 0.17 or greater?
Yes, ma'am.
Satisfied, Mr. Kaplan?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Mihas?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Henson, the next step in these proceedings is that your case will be referred to the probation department.
Okay,
They will be emailing you and calling you, which I do not see his contact information on the ROA. Mr. Mihas, if you could send a chat before you leave the virtual courtroom, if you could send a chat to Mary Ann and provide her with your client's phone number and email address. Mr. Henson, the probation department will be contacting you. There will be forms for you to complete. There will be
Okay.
an interview for you to complete virtually. They are the ones that will make a sentencing recommendation to me and schedule your sentence date, okay?
okay,
And Your Honor, I just want to make sure that the record's clear that the plea is to operating under the influence, the impaired, as opposed to the super.
Operating while impaired, operating while intoxicated.
No, we agreed to impaired.
Yeah, it's supposed to be operating while impaired, Your Honor.
Operating while impaired, okay.
I just want to make sure that was clear because obviously there's differences between the impaired and intoxicated and the super drunk for that matter.
It is, I'm writing it correctly in the file, operating while impaired as it appears on the plea sheet.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Kaplan?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Mihas?
Nope, I am getting to work on the chat, Your Honor. Appreciate it.
Thank you so very much. Mr. Henson, you have a wonderful day. Good luck to you, sir.
thank you, ma'am, I appreciate it.
And Mr. Dixon is back. Mr. Dixon, we have not seen Ms. Belcher yet this morning.
I'm
Oh,
here, Your
she
Honor.
is. Thank you, ma'am. Do you need to speak to Mr. Dixon?
I need to speak to Mr. Kaplan first, Your Honor. I heard back about sobriety court, and that's not going to be a possibility, so we have to work out a plea resolution.
Okay. Mary Ann, did you get the information? Mr. Mihas, I see you put his address into the chat to everyone, but it was phone number and email address for Mary Ann.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay.
Let me see, how do I get Mary Ann specifically?
When you're in the chat, you switch it from to everyone to just to Mary Ann.
Okay, we'll try to do that.
Thank
I'm
you.
I'm horrible at this. Nope.
Thank you. for helping him.
You're welcome.
She keeps me out of trouble, Judge.
There you go.
She's like, uh-oh, he just froze. That's not good.
Thank you. I have it.
Thank
And
you,
I'm
Mary
getting
Ann.
you the email right now. There you go. There you go,
Thank you.
everybody.
Have we seen Mr. McCarty yet this morning?
No, ma'am.
Yeah. Mr. Leach, would you remove your cap for me, please, sir? This is 21RP02810A, City of Romulus versus Zachary Leach. Mr. Leach, unmute yourself and state your name for the record, please, sir.
My name is Zachary Leach.
Mr. Leach, today is the day and time set for your show cause arraignment and pretrial. You failed to appear back on November 29th, 2021. The court has received a request from the prosecutor that this case be dismissed. Do you have any objection to the case being dismissed?
No.
Okay, this case will be dismissed, but Mr. Leach, you have two matters outstanding with the court where you owe $546. Have you started your payment plan? Yes?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am, I have.
Thank you, Mr. Leach. Is there anything else you need from me this morning?
No, everything else is okay with me and my name.
You're set. You're all set, sir. You have a wonderful day, okay?
You too, you have a blessed one. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Mr. McCarty, do you need to speak to Ms. Benton?
I do not. I have spoken with my client.
Would you need to speak to the prosecutor?
What, if I may, Your Honor, what really needs to take place is I need to get Miss Benton in my office so that we can review the discovery. Omicron came through last month and wiped out the better part of my staff. We had to shut down operations for January.
Mr. McCarty, I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you off, but Mr. Kaplan's not here right now. Based on what you're saying, I'm going to assume when he comes out, you'll be looking for an adjournment of this case.
That's correct.
There's one matter ahead of yours. Once we get that case on the record, we'll call Ms. Benton after that.
That's fine. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Farhat.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm here on the Jihad Farhat matter.
Yes, sir.
I spoke to Mr. Kaplan yesterday. We were just going to place dismissal on the record.
Mr. Kaplan, Ms. Belcher.
Yes, Your Honor.
This is 191036 OD to 10808 OD and 21RP03167OT. These are all City of Romulus versus Cornelius Dixon. May I have your appearances, please?
Joshua Kaplan on behalf of the people.
And good morning, Your Honor. Leanna Belcher on behalf of Mr. Dixon. Mr. Dixon, can you state your name, please, for the record?
Cornelius Dixon.
Your Honor, this matter's been adjourned a couple of times because we were looking into a plea resolution that was contingent upon Mr. Dixon entering sobriety court. I did hear back from the sobriety court program. Unfortunately, he cannot be admitted into the program, but Mr. Kaplan was kind enough to still offer the same plea resolution without the sobriety court requirement. And I'm happy to go in a breakout room with Mr. Dixon to re-explain that plea negotiation so he can fully understand what he'd be entering into.
Thank you, ma'am. Mary Ann will get you into a breakout room with Mr. Dixon.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. This is 210878OD. This is City of Romulus versus Cynthia Benton. May I have your appearances, please?
Joshua Kaplan on behalf of the people.
And good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Jeff McCarty, P 42633, with on behalf of Ms. Benton via Zoom without objection.
Ma'am, state your name for me, please.
Cynthia Benton.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the adjourned pretrial in this matter. Mr. Kaplan, while you were not present, Mr. McCarty indicated that this matter would be adjourned. Is that accurate, sir?
Your Honor, if I may, just go into a breakout room with Mr. McCarty just briefly.
Before you do, let me get one case dismissed and get him on his way. 21RP007934 A and B, City of Romulus versus Farhat.
Yeah, Joshua Kaplan on behalf of the people.
You're muted, Mr. Farhat.
Sorry about that, Your Honor. Abdullah Farhat on behalf of the defendant, Your Honor.
Kaplan, when you were in the breakout room, Mr. Farhat indicated that these matters will be dismissed. Is that accurate?
That is accurate, yes.
Anything else that needs to be noted in the file, Mr. Kaplan?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Farhat?
Nothing on my end, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
These matters will be dismissed. Have a good day. And now Mr. Kaplan and Mr.
Thank-
McCarty into the breakout.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Mr. Schick, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
The person who's identified as iPhone, can you hear me? Hello?
Was
Ms.
that
Benton,
sufficient time in the breakout room?
Yeah, maybe a break. Ms. Benton, you have to mute your,
Oh.
Ms. Belcher and Mr. Kaplan, are we ready with Mr. Dixon?
Yes, Your Honor, we're ready.
Recalling the matters of City of Romulus versus Cornelius Dixon. I have already noted all of your appearances for the record. How are we proceeding this morning, Ms. Belcher?
Your Honor, Mr. Dixon's going to be entering into the plea that should be on the plea form in front of Your Honor.
The plea form from November 30th indicates that Mr. Dixon will plead guilty to operating while intoxicated, enhanced, reckless driving, resisting arrest, and driving while license suspended. And the other matters would be dismissed. Is that accurate?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Dixon, would you raise your right hand for me, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you able to hear the attorneys just now regarding the plea offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you've had sufficient time to discuss it with Ms. Belcher?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you wish to accept the offer made by the prosecutor in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that if the court accepts your plea of guilty this morning to operating while intoxicated, enhanced, reckless driving, resisting arrest, and driving while license suspended, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, Your Honor.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine any witnesses put forth by the prosecutor?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Dixon, is it true that on December 7th, 2018, in the city of Romulus, you operated a vehicle while you were intoxicated?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is it also true, sir, that on that same date, December 7th, 2018, in the city of Romulus, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is it also true, sir, that on September 19, 2021, again in the city of Romulus, you resisted arrest
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And also, sir, on September 19, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you drove recklessly contrary to law?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Kaplan?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Ms. Belcher?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Dixon, the court has accepted your pleas in the matters as indicated. The next step in these proceedings is that your case will be referred to the probation department. They will be calling you and emailing you at the address that we have, the, excuse me, email address and phone numbers that we already have on record. They will have forms for you to complete. They will schedule interview with you. They'll send a sentence recommendation to me and schedule your sentence date. You'll come back and we'll do the sentence at that time. Understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Kaplan?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Ms. Belcher?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Dixon, good luck to you. I'll see you in a couple of weeks, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Mr. McCarty.
Your Honor, I have Ashley Walker with you as well.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Kaplan, in your absence, Mr. Leach appeared. I dismissed his case as indicated on the form submitted to the court.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. This is 1724360 OD. This is City of Romulus versus Ashley Nicole Walker.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Mr. Kaplan
Joshua Kaplan on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
and Leanna Belcher on behalf of Ms. Walker. Ms. Walker, will you state your name?
Ashley Walker.
Thank you. Your
Thank
Honor,
you.
This matter was adjourned several times, again for sobriety court consideration. It looks like from the ROA at the end of January, she was screened or was supposed to be screened. I have not yet heard back, so I would ask for a short adjournment so that I can wait for probation to make a determination whether or not Ms. Walker would be a candidate for the sobriety court program.
I saw that as well in the review of the file. We will adjourn the matter to March 3rd, 2022. At 9:40 a.m. That's back with me, back by Zoom. Anything else, Ms. Belcher?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Kaplan?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Walker, we'll see you back here on March 3rd. Have a good day, ma'am.
Thank you, you too. Have a good day, Judge.
You too, Ms. Belcher.
Thank you.
Mr. McCarty, are you, oh,
Yes, I'm back and I am ready, Judge.
this is 2108780D, City of Romulus versus Cynthia Benton.
And again, Attorney Jeff McCarty, P 42633, with behalf of Ms. Benton via Zoom without objection. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with the city attorney in a breakout room. There was an offer extended to my client. I communicated that offer to my client. She does wish to avail herself of that offer this morning, Judge. The offer is a reduction to operating while visibly impaired. I've explained that offer to my client, explained her rights to attend it to the current charge, particularly her right to trial by judge or jury. She understands by taking advantage of this plea bargain, she'll be giving up a trial right and all the rights that are tenant there too. And this is what she desires to do this morning.
Ms. Benton, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear affirm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You're muted, ma'am.
Yes, I do. Sorry
Thank
about
you. You can
that.
put your hand down.
Okay.
You had sufficient time to discuss this matter with Mr. McCarty this morning,
Yes,
and he explained your rights to you in this matter.
yes, he did.
And after consulting with him, you still wish to accept the plea from the prosecutor to operating while visibly impaired?
Yes,
You're doing this freely and voluntarily, ma'am?
yes, I am.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty to operating while visibly impaired?
No,
Is it true, ma'am, that on August 28, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you operated a motor vehicle while you were impaired?
yes,
Satisfied, Mr. Kaplan?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
I
Satisfied,
am
Mr. McCarty?
I am satisfied as well.
Thank you. Ms. Benton, the court will accept your plea in this matter. The next step in these proceedings is that the matter will be referred to the probation department for an interview. They will be emailing you and calling you in the next few days. There will be forms for you to complete. They will schedule a virtual interview. They will make a recommendation for the sentence in this matter, send it up to me, and schedule the matter for you to return with Mr. McCarty for the sentence to be imposed. I do not see that we have her email and phone number in our system. I'm looking to see if it's on our file, Mr. McCarty. I don't seem to see it. If you have that information, if you would chat it directly to Mary Ann only, we'll add it to the file for probation to be able to contact Ms. Benton.
So make sure I have her email.
If you don't, you can remute yourselves.
I
Call
do.
and get it from her so you
No,
can get it to
I
Mary Ann.
do.
Okay.
And I'll chat that.
Anything else in this matter, Mr. Kaplan?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
And
Anything
Your
else,
Honor,
Mr. McCarty?
yes, just, do you want me to chat it to Mary Ann? Is that who you cast?
Correct.
Okay.
Just
will
to
do.
Mary Ann. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Ms. Benton, good luck to you, ma'am. I'll see you after you're done with probation.
thank you very much. Have a good day.
You too, thank you. To the gentleman with the beard and the white t-shirt, your name, please. You're muted.
Nehemiah Nelson.
Mr. Nelson, you're scheduled at 9:20. We're not quite there yet, almost. We'll get you renamed and we'll get to you as soon as we can. Good morning, Mr. McCausland.
Good morning, Your Honor.
This is 21R007903OM, 21R007942A and B. Mr. Causland and Mr. Kaplan, I note your appearances for the file. Mr. McCausland, this court has received an agreement from the prosecutor to dismiss these matters. Is that accurate, sir?
That's my understanding. Yes, Your Honor.
Any objection to entry of the dismissals?
No objection.
Anything else in this matter, Mr. Kaplan?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything
Thank
else,
you, Mr. Kaplan.
McCausland?
Thank you, Judge.
Have a good
Nothing
day,
from me.
sir.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Mary Ann, I need a second to just note. File.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
Am I okay to leave?
This Mr. Nelson, I was trying to figure out what you said.
Mr. Chubb, were you asking, was it okay for you to leave?
Yes.
Why would you want to leave, Mr. Chubb?
Oh, I thought that, I'm sorry. I thought that was about me.
What, are you from Smith Investments?
No, I thought you
Okay.
just dismissed my two cases.
I'm happy for you to leave, sir, but only after we've had a chance to review your matter. Let me. Give me just a second, sir. Mr. Chubb, you're not scheduled until 9:30. We still have to get to some 9:20 cases. Let's see if we can get there.
I understand. I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize. We're
I was
all
just
working through this together.
Excuse me.
Is there a Corey
Excuse me.
Faison? Yes. Yes, to the person that just said,
Oh.
excuse me.
Oh, yeah, this Mr. Nelson. I didn't get a chance to hear what you had said.
All I said was you're scheduled at 9:20. We still have some 9:10 matters. I'm getting to you. If you just wait patiently, I appreciate it.
All right, thanks.
Is there a Kanisha Jackson here? Kanisha Jackson. Brenda Simmons. Shantanique Gorey.
Good morning, Judge. How are you?
I'm good, Mr. Nasser. You're gonna stop coming in my courtroom screaming out like that.
Oh, no, forgive me for that, Judge. I thought,
Mr. Nasser, I really am just giving you a hard time. I saw
Right.
you there. I'm getting to you in just a moment.
no, thank you so much, Judge.
Shantez Gregory,
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here on that matter.
exactly. 210914OM. This is City of Romulus versus Shantez Gregory.
Joshua Kevin, I have the people.
And good morning, Your Honor. Good morning to your staff. May it please this most honorable court. Mohammed Nasser, P74485, appearing on behalf of Shantez Gregory. Judge, I believe this is scheduled for a status conference. Mr. Gregory was deemed incompetent, if I'm not mistaken. I was wondering if this court would so allow, and forgive me for asking, if I can speak to the prosecutor very briefly in a breakout room.
Absolutely. Mr. Kaplan and Mr. Nasser into the breakout room. Mr. Nelson, 21RP00161 A and B. These are City of Romulus versus Nelson. Unmute yourself, Mr. Nelson. State your name for me, please, sir.
Nehemiah Nelson.
Thank you. Mr. Nelson, today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial. Sir, it's alleged that on January 18, 2022, in the city of Romulus, you were issued a civil infraction for a registration or plate violation. The usual fine and cost associated with that is $150. On that same date, January 18, 2022, in the city of Romulus, you were charged with loitering, sir. This is a misdemeanor. There is an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead guilty to the loitering, sentence in the matter would be deferred for a period of 6 months, so long as you paid the fines assessed by the court and did not receive any new misdemeanor charges, the case would be reviewed for dismissal. For purposes of today's hearing, were you looking to proceed on your own this morning, or were you looking for the assistance of the court-appointed attorney?
I could do it on my own this morning.
Okay. And sir, how would you like to proceed in this matter?
I'm gonna plead guilty.
Mr. Kaplan, this is the
I
matter
plead guilty
of,
for the loitering.
okay, Mr. Nelson, give me 1 second. This is a matter of Nehemiah Nelson. There's an offer in the file. Mr. Nelson's indicated that he wishes to accept the offer. Mr. Nelson, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Nelson, you understand that if the court accepts your plea in this matter, you won't have a trial of any kind?
Yes.
You won't have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine any witnesses put forth by the prosecutor?
Yes.
You're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Excuse me?
I said, are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Mr. Nelson, is it true that on January 18, 2022, in the city of Romulus, you were loitering contrary to law?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Kaplan?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Mr. Nelson, the court accepts your plea. As previously indicated, sentence in this matter will be deferred for a period of 6 months, so long as you incur no new criminal offenses and pay the court $200. The matter will be reviewed for dismissal. Are you able to pay that $200 within the next 7 days, sir?
Oh, I just started, so I don't get paid to it's gonna be right after 7 days, like a week after this one.
Mr. Nelson?
I get
What's going
paid.
to happen is, hold on 1 second. What's going to happen is that you're going to be moved into a breakout room to meet with our collections department, okay? They'll
Okay.
put you on a payment plan. So while you're waiting to be transferred there, please think about how soon you can make your first payment and in what amount, okay?
All right.
Anything else, Mr. Nelson?
No.
Thank you, sir. You have a good day. Go into the collections room.
Okay.
Thank you. Recalling the matter of Shantez Gregory, Mr. Nasser, and Mr. Kaplan, the court has noted your appearances. How are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, I've had an opportunity to speak to the city attorney in this regard. There is a, for lack of better terms, there's not necessarily a companion, but there is a felony matter that's also correlated to the same complainant. In light of that, Judge, we want to address competency and address the felony matter, and with the hopes to resolve this matter with some form of resolution and or dismissal. So I'd request a 90-day adjournment. I think that would be a sufficient period of time to resolve those issues.
And Your Honor, the people stipulate to that. I think that the goal would be to deal with competency and start with dealing with the felony issue and competency together before coming back to this case for the next status conference.
I do not have a 90-day date, but I will send the file back to Mary Ann with an indication that the matter will be adjourned for a period of 90 days. I do note in the other file 210915 FY that Mr. Gregory was found incompetent to stand trial. So Mary Ann will get the 90-day adjournment notice out, whatever that date is. I do not know which judge will be on the Romulus docket at that point. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Kaplan?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Nasser?
Nothing, Judge. Please and thank you.
Good to see you this morning, sir. Have a good day.
You too, Judge. Always a pleasure.
Okay, Gregory, Nelson, Smith. John Brown. Mr. Chubb.
I'm here. Hold on one second.
I know you're here, sir. Thank you for getting yourself unmuted. This is 21 RP 012820M and 20 RP 041740T. These are both City of Romulus versus Brian Chubb. Mr. Nunley is here. Mr. Nunley, do you need to speak to Mr. Chubb?
Yes, I do need to speak to him briefly.
Mr. Chubb, you're going to see an invitation to join Mr. Nunley in the breakout room. Please go there to discuss this case with him, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Josh, what was the offer on this? Was there one?
Yeah, failed to stop at the accident, harassment, plea to those, restitution reserved, no jail, and dismiss threats. I can do harassment under advisement.
I'm sorry, could you say it one more time? You're moving a little quick. So failure to stop, what's up with that one?
Failed to stop at the accident, harassment, I'll do 12-month under advisement on that deferred.
Okay.
No jail and dismiss the threats.
Got it. Thank you.
Mr. Demopoulos, there are some things that are scheduled before your client, so let me get those people moved out, and then Mary Ann will get you in with Mr. Kaplan.
Thank you.
Stephen Day. You're welcome, sir.
Here, Your Honor.
I know, thank you, sir. This is 210960M. This is City of Romulus versus Stephen Day.
Joshua Kaplan on behalf of the people.
And Mr. Jadala is here, was here. Uh-oh. Mr. Day, it looks like we've lost Mr. Jadala. When he comes back, we'll get your case called again and get you your matter handled, addressed. To the person in the car with the blue button-up shirt on, your name, please.
Ajane Skandrick, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, say that again for me.
Ajane Skandrick, Your Honor.
Skandrick?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. At 9:50. We're not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Mary Ann, I think that we are sufficiently through to get Mr. Demopoulos in with Mr. Kaplan, please.
Josh, it's breakout room 4.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. I don't know if you noticed on the screen that Attorney Wiley is here for the Belleville prosecutor.
Mr. Wiley. Good morning, sir. How are you?
How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. Do you have good news for us?
Possibly. What kind of news are you looking for?
I'm looking for news that there is a little one afoot.
Yes. Mr. Nolan, his wife gave birth to a boy Tuesday morning. So he was adamant that he was going to be here, but I told him that he needed to not be here. So
I don't know why people don't think they can Zoom with babies in arms. I'd be very happy to see that on this dreary Thursday morning. Mr. Jadala, I called Mr. Day's case and then we lost Mr. Kaplan to a breakout room. Do you need to speak to Mr. Day?
Mr. Kaplan first and then Mr. Day, if that's possible.
Okay. When he comes out from Mr. Demopoulos, I'll handle that matter, and then we'll get you into a breakout room with him.
Thank you.
See, Marianne, there are babies everywhere. Who knew?
All good news.
And then Mr. Wiley here with us with this office all nice and neat. So we're Chubb, then Widener, then Day. I think it's the story in the street. We ready on Widener?
Yes, Your Honor.
2109340M. This is City of Romulus versus Kenneth Widener. May I have your appearances, please?
Joshua Kaplan on behalf of the people.
Gregory Demopoulos on behalf of Mr. Widener.
Sir,
Your Honor,
state your name for me, please.
My apologies.
That's okay.
Did you say spell it?
No, just state it, sir.
Oh, Gregory Demopoulos.
Not you, Mr. Demopoulos. I said, I'm sorry, Mr. Widener, would you state your name for the record, please, sir?
Kenneth Daniel Widener.
Thank you. This matter was scheduled for a show cause arraignment and pretrial based on Mr. Widener's failure to appear for his original arraignment and pretrial back on January 6, 2022. How are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, I did have an opportunity to speak with Mr. Demopoulos. The people are going to make a motion to dismiss this today.
Any objection, Mr. Demopoulos?
No, Judge.
This matter is hereby dismissed. Anything else, Mr. Kaplan?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Demopoulos?
No, Judge. Thank you.
Mr. Widener, the matter has been dismissed. You have a good day, sir.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. I don't see that Mr. Nunley is back, so Mary Ann, if you would move Mr. Kaplan and Mr. Jadala into a breakout room, I'd appreciate it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Nunley with who? I'm sorry, Judge.
No, Mr. Kaplan and Mr. Jadala, please.
Got it. Okay, thanks.
Should I go back to room 4?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
That was fast. 2109060M, Stephen Day.
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Jadala appearing on behalf of Mr. Day.
Joshua Kaplan on behalf of the people. Your Honor, today is the date and time set for final pretrial. We were not able to get hold of the complaining witness. I am sure there will be a motion by the defense counsel.
Your Honor, we'll make a
Before he
motion.
makes that motion, Mr. Day, would you state your name for the record, please, sir?
Stephen Edward Day.
Thank you, Mr. Jadala.
We'll make a motion to dismiss at this time, Your Honor.
Mr. Kaplan, any response?
As stated, I was not able to get a hold of the complaining witness on this case.
Thank you. Matter is hereby dismissed. Mr. Day, good luck to you, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Judge, I just had a question. Has a John Brown appeared?
He has not. I called his name, John Brown.
And I'll keep trying to get a hold of him and I'll log back in if I can.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Nunley, are you ready to proceed with Mr. Chubb? Oh, maybe not. Mr. Nunley?
Me and Mr. Chubb were speaking and it looks like he lost audio, so I think he signed off and just signed back in.
Mary
So,
Ann will get you back into a breakout room with him.
okay, great, thank you.
Thank you. Oh. This is 22 RP 00192 OM and 20 RP 05737 OM. These are City of Romulus versus Ajane Scandrick.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Joshua
State your
Kaplan,
name again for me, please. Thank you.
Ajane Scandrick.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial in the 192 matter. It's alleged that on January 22nd, 2022, in the city of Romulus, you were brandishing a firearm, which is a misdemeanor, and
You said January?
January 22nd, 2022, you are charged with brandishing a firearm. There is also the case that is 20 RP 05737 OM, September 4th, 2020, again in the city of Romulus, brandishing a firearm. This case was scheduled originally for October 1st, 2020. And then again for June 17th, 2021, at which time you failed to appear. A warrant was issued in this matter for your arrest. And then the matter was scheduled for today for arraignment and pretrial of both of these matters. There is an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead guilty to one count of brandishing the firearm, the second file, brandishing a firearm, would be dismissed. You wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor? Would you like to speak to the court-appointed attorney or represent yourself this morning?
I don't know. I guess I can speak to a court-appointed attorney because I didn't know anything about the second issue that came up.
Okay, you're going to see an invitation to go into a breakout room with Mr. Batar. These are September 2020 and in January of 2022, both for brandishing a firearm. Please join them in a breakout.
I got you.
Judge, with that case, the dismissal is for which case? The 2022 or the 2020?
Mr. Kaplan did not indicate which.
We would, we didn't have any objection to either, whichever one they want to plead to.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Was that sufficient time with Mr. Chubb?
If I could speak with Mr. Kaplan very briefly.
Absolutely. This is 21BL004970M. This is City of Belleville versus Taylor Banks.
Yes, I'm here.
State your name for me, ma'am.
Taylor Banks.
Thank you, Ms. Banks. Today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial. Ma'am, it's alleged that on August 19, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you had a dog at large, in the city of Belleville, you had a dog at large, which is contrary to law and is a misdemeanor. There is an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead guilty to this dog at large, the sentence in the matter would be deferred for a period of 3 months. So long as you incur no new criminal offenses, the matter would be reviewed for dismissal. Do you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor? Would you like to speak to the court-appointed attorney, or would you like to represent yourself this morning?
I would like to represent myself because it was misunderstanding.
For purposes of arraignment, ma'am, how do you wish to proceed?
Not guilty. Is that
Not guilty. Your bond is going to be set at 1,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you do need to do is appear at every court date going forward. For purposes of pretrial, would it be beneficial to speak to the prosecutor this morning?
no?
Okay, then Ms. Banks, how will you be proceeding?
I'm sorry.
How would you like to proceed with the pretrial since you do not want to speak to the prosecutor?
I guess not. Do I say not guilty? Is that
You said not guilty for your arraignment. I've already
Yeah.
marked that in the file. I set your
Okay.
bond at 1,000 personal. And now
Okay.
that we're done with the arraignment, the next step in the proceedings is the pretrial. This matter was scheduled for arraignment and pretrial this morning.
okay?
Mr. Wiley, are you able to shed some light on the situation?
Your Honor, if my instruction today is if people don't want to accept the plea, then we would adjourn the pre-hearing for exchange of discovery.
Any
Okay.
objection to the adjournment, Ms. Banks?
No.
This case will be adjourned to March the 17th at 10:10 a.m. for discovery to be exchanged. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Wiley?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Ms. Banks?
No.
We'll see you back here on March the 17th at 10:10 a.m., ma'am. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Mr. Kaplan and Mr. Nunley, are we ready with Mr. Chubb?
Yeah, we can move forward with Mr. Chubb.
Okay. 21 RP 012820M and 20 RP 041740T. City of Romulus versus Brian Chubb.
Joshua Kaplan on behalf of the people.
Royce Nunley on behalf of the defendant. At this time, Your Honor, we would just be requesting that maybe we could get this thing adjourned to a final pretrial where the victim must appear. There are some more discovery issues that have to be ironed out. There's just some emails that are mentioned in police report that are missing. So if we could get one more date down the road, hopefully we would have a better idea of what we're going to do moving forward at that time.
Is March 3rd enough time or March 17th?
March 17th would be better for me.
The 17th at 9:10 a.m. March 17th, 2022 at 9:10 a.m. Back with me virtually, courtroom number 1. Complaining victim must appear. Anything else, Mr. Kaplan?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Nunley?
Could you give me that time one more time?
9:10 a.m.
Okay, I have to be there in person that day with Judge Oakley, so I'll just pop over in person if that works for you.
I'm sorry, what?
That's fine, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day, Mr. Chubb. I'll see you back here on March 17th, okay?
Thank you.
We have a 10 o'clock trial. I see that Mr. Waginka is here. Is there any benefit to discussing this case with the Lala J Investments before the case is called?
I do not believe so. I would need a brief breakout with Mr. Waginka just to confirm, but
Thank you. Mary Ann, if you would just move in briefly. Thank you.
Can I be moved as well, please? This is Carol Mates from the city.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
The person who's identified as Galaxy S21, can you hear me?
Yes, hi.
Hi, good morning. What is your name, please?
Marvin Smith. I'm the attorney for Bianca Alvarez.
Thank
And
you.
hopefully she's zooming in.
Judge or Mary Ann, this is Dan Batar. I'll need a breakout room with Josh when he is available.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Your Honor. We're representing Delapa J Investments. Do you mind if we join that breakout room with the prosecutor
Absolutely, I
and
do
city
mind.
planner?
It's the attorney meeting with the client.
Okay,
And ma'am, are you a licensed attorney?
I am not.
And is there a licensed attorney there with you?
No,
So who's representing the corporation?
We do.
we both represent Delapa J Investments.
We will do.
You need an attorney to represent a corporation.
We did not show up to court with an attorney today.
This is 21BL009288 A and B. These are City of Belleville versus Haley Sewell.
Yes, I'm present.
State your name for me, please, ma'am.
Haley Sewell.
Ma'am, today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial. It's alleged that on December 22nd, 2021, in the City of Belleville, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail and fines of up to $500 plus court costs. On that same day, you issued a civil infraction for driving with no registration. For purposes, sorry. There's an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive, that the driving while license suspended would be dismissed, as would the no registration. Do you wish to accept this offer? Would you like to speak to the court-appointed attorney, or would you like to proceed on your own this morning?
Truthfully, I didn't quite understand what I would be pleading guilty to.
Then what you'll do is you'll go into a breakout room with Mr. Batar, and he'll discuss that plea with you. The plea is to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive, and the driving while license suspended, and the no registration would be dismissed. So please join him and discuss the case, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. This is 21BL009388 AOT. This is City of Belleville versus Nancy Fuentes. Ma'am, would you unmute yourself and state your name for me, please?
Hello? Hello,
Hi, would you state your name for me, please, ma'am?
Nancy Elizondo Fuentes.
Ma'am, today is a day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial. It's alleged that on December 28, 2021, in the City of Belleville, you drove while your license was not valid, or you had an improper license. This is a misdemeanor. There is an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive, that the driving while license not valid would be dismissed. Do you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor? Would you like to
Yes.
speak to the court-appointed attorney, or would you like to proceed on your own?
Speak.
No. I accepted what the prosecutor say.
I'm sorry?
She accepts the prosecutor's, I'm not sure what was it? What the prosecutor said, she wants to go with that. She wants to take the guilty plea, or what's it called?
Ms. Fuentes, you'd like to plead guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive?
Yes.
Ma'am, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Ma'am, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Dice que si aceptas eso, no te
Oh,
van a
I'm
dar
sorry.
ningún-
Yes, yes, accept.
Ma'am, do you understand English?
Yes. Yes, but can you speak a little bit slowly for me? Just a little.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Do you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Okay, yeah.
You won't have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or cross-examine the witnesses of the prosecutor?
No.
No, you don't understand that?
No, I don't accept witness and all this kind of stuff.
Ms. Fuentes, do you need an interpreter?
Let me try. Sorry. Es que, look, está diciendo que si aceptas eso, no
No,
te.
sir.
Sir,
Sir, it has to be a court-approved interpreter.
Okay.
Okay, in
we'll
case
adjourn-
I want an interpreter, it's going to be right now, the interpreter?
No, ma'am. No,
Oh.
ma'am. We'll adjourn the case. We're gonna set your bond, though, at 3,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but you need to appear again on March the 17th at 10:20 a.m.
Explícame.
Solo acepten, Dios mío.
I accepted the what you said,
Prosecutor.
the prosecutor said.
No, ma'am. You can come back on the 13th. The court will order an interpreter. Sir, you can let her know that that's what's happening. A notice will be mailed out that she is to return on March the 17th at 10:20 a.m. We'll have an interpreter present.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Too. Bye-bye.
Mr. Kaplan, are we ready for Delilah J Investments?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
It's come to my attention that the defendant in this matter is not represented by an attorney.
What?
No, see if you're done.
This is 20R007499 A and B. These are City of Romulus versus Delilah J Investments.
Your Honor, Joshua Kaplan on behalf of the people.
This is Jim Wagenka, City of Romulus Building Department.
And sir, your name?
Daniel, that's you.
My name is Daniel Nitokario.
Thank
Your
you.
Honor.
Today is the day and time set for trial, but Mr. Kaplan, the court does not see that an attorney has ever filed an appearance for this corporation. How are we proceeding for trial?
Your Honor, people are ready to proceed for trial. I believe that offers of counsel have been provided, if memory serves correctly, to the defendant, and they were rejected.
Sir, is there a reason why you have not appeared with an attorney for this corporation this morning?
We were never offered a public attorney or court attorney. I don't understand what he meant by refusal of attorney. That was never mentioned.
I don't know that the MIDC attorneys can represent corporations. Mr. Bitar, is that accurate?
That is accurate, Your Honor. We cannot.
We were given a hearing date and we just showed up to court. We don't have an attorney to represent us.
Ma'am, we went through this back on January 20th, 2022, at which time I advised you that you could not represent or speak out in this matter. This is a corporation that needs to be represented by an attorney. I'm happy to adjourn the trial. How long will it take you to get an attorney?
Could you please give us 3 months?
Explain the building. Ma'am,
Absolutely not.
excuse me, Your Honor, the building is for sale for the last year and a half. I'm not sure Oregon with this. The building is for sale and it's gonna stay for sale, so.
Ma'am, could you please, Your Honor, I'm sorry, could you please give us our options?
These citations were issued to a corporation.
Right.
The
We were
last
never
time that we appeared, you and I had specific conversations about you not yelling out when you cannot represent a corporation. You are not a
Right.
party to this action. What this
I
court will do
understand.
at this time is adjourn this matter to March 17th at 10 a.m. for a trial. Please have an attorney present with you to represent the corporation.
I understand. Well, when
The
we.
court-appointed attorney who is present cannot represent corporations.
Right, and I understand. At our pretrial hearing last month, we were never informed that we had to hire an attorney. We were never informed of that matter.
When we were here before, did I ask you, were you an attorney?
Yes,
Okay, and I indicated at that time that only attorneys could represent parties, correct?
right. When we went into the breakout room, we spoke to an officer. We were never informed that when we were scheduled for the bench trial, we were never informed that we had to have an attorney.
Respectfully, ma'am, the matter is adjourned to March the 17th at 10 a.m. Please be prepared with an attorney at that date and time. Anything
Okay,
else in this matter, Mr. Kaplan?
No, Your
Thank you
Honor.
so much.
Thank you, Carol, and thank
Have a
you.
good day.
Mr. Ginkgo.
Thank you.
Wait,
Thank you, Your Honor.
this is quick building for sale.
Scandrick,
Yes, Your Honor.
are we ready in this matter, Mr. Bitar?
No, Your Honor, I need to talk to Josh, but we are ready in the Haley Sewell matter.
On Haley Sewell, the 21BL00926 A and B, how are we proceeding?
Daniel Batar on behalf of Ms. Sewell, Your Honor. She's going to plead guilty to allowing an unlicensed person to drive. The original charges will be dismissed.
Ms. Sewell, would you raise your right hand for me, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am, or Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. You can put your hand down now. Were you able to hear Mr. Bitar just now?
Yes,
Ma'am, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
yes,
You won't have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
I understand and accept.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Correct, Your Honor.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yeah, yes,
Ma'am, is it true that on December 22nd, 2021, you allow someone to operate a vehicle who was not authorized by law to operate that vehicle?
Yes, it was me. Sorry.
Satisfied, Mr. Wiley?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Batar?
I am, Your Honor.
Ma'am, the court accepts your plea of guilty to the added count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive. The driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied will be dismissed. Before a sentence is imposed, is there anything, Mr. Batar, you'd like to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, she's employed full-time. Her license is now valid. We are asking you to assess fines and costs, please.
You say her license is now valid?
It is, Your Honor.
Ms. Sewell, where do you work?
The company who staffs me is called Sustainable Staffing. I work at a medical and recreational facility in Ann Arbor.
And Mr. Batar, was accurate that you now do have a valid license?
Yes, I took my basic driver's course online that they asked me to. I just did not see the letter that I also had to retake a road test. So truthfully, I didn't know my license was suspended until I got pulled over. So then after that, I went and took my road test to get my license reinstated.
Ma'am, the court's gonna impose minimal fine, $200 fine, $100 cost. There's $75 crime victims fee, $50 mandatory state cost, $20 fund fee. That is a total of $445. Do you need more than 7 days to pay that amount?
Oh, no, ma'am. Thank you so much, though.
Okay, you can either bring it up to the courthouse, you can go online and pay it, or you can mail it in, okay?
Okay, may I ask one more question?
Absolutely.
I just want to confirm this means I also get no points gracefully.
I'm sorry, somebody
Miss-
just opened my door. I lost you for a second.
Ms. Sewell, that's accurate. No points on your record. You will not have any sanctions from the Secretary of State.
Cool. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much
Mr.
for
Batar.
everything.
You're welcome.
Have a good day, ma'am.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Can I go in with Josh now,
Mr.
please?
Batar in with Mr. Kaplan. Does he want to come in here and chit chat with us? Does he want to zoom from downstairs? George Choice?
He'd rather do it in here, I guess.
He'd rather do it.
He's right outside.
Oh, come on.
So do I need to turn the TV on for him?
Does he need to see the people? No, he can stand at the podium. I'm changing the camera for him. We have Mr. Batar, I thought you were leaving. I'll be right back. Person is identified as Ride Tweed. Can you hear me?
Mary Ann, while we're waiting, can I go back in with Mr. Scandrick, please?
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome. It's breakout room 5, Dan and Mr.
Okay, I was waiting for Mr. Scandrick. Mr. Scandrick, there should be a breakout room available for you.
Just click it in the corner right here.
There should be something that says breakout rooms, and then you'll get an option to join number 5.
Good morning. How are you, sir? I'm wonderful. What do you have with us this morning?
We're here for Mr. Folks. Occupying dwelling without inspection. 1020.
I see you. There are some other things that are ready, but because you're here in person, we'll get you called so we can get you back on your way. Mr. Wiley,
Yes.
this is 220039OM, City of Belleville versus Alan Bernard Folks. If you want to come up to this podium for me, please. Oh. Okay, there we are. So Mr. Wiley can see you, although you can't see him. They're picking you up.
Okay.
This City of Belleville again versus Alan Folks. Your name, please, sir.
Rick Rutherford, building official, director of public services, City of Belleville.
I thought you were Mr. Defendant. I'm sorry. If he's not here yet. Mr. Folks, you guys can have a seat. No, that's okay. Thought I was doing something. Mr. Kaplan and Mr. Bitar, what were you ready with?
We are ready on Scandrick, Your Honor.
I had called that case before I stepped off. I have your appearances noted. How are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, we're going to ask for a pretrial at a later date. I need to get some discovery. With respect to the arraignment, we'll waive a formal reading and stand mute.
Thank you.
Agreed.
Waive the formal reading, stand mute. Your bond will be set at 1,000 personal in both of these files. The adjourned pretrial date will be March the 3rd at 9:50 a.m. That's back with me, courtroom number 1, still by Zoom. Anything else, Mr. Kaplan?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Bitar?
Judge, Mr. Kaplan has given me consent to have his name signed to a discovery order for both these cases. I don't know if the court has one available or if Mary Ann could get one. If that's possible, I'd appreciate it.
Mary Ann, I don't know, so you'll have to answer that question.
Yeah, Dan, I don't know about, a discovery order, is that what you need?
Yes, Mary Ann. If
Yeah.
you don't know, I'll figure it out somehow.
Teresa has them too, I know, Dan, just so you know.
Okay, I'll take care of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Did Ms. Alvarez ever, yes, Ms. Alvarez, 210901OD. This is City of Romulus versus Bianca Alvarez. May I have your appearances, please?
Joshua Kaplan on behalf of the people.
Get out. Get out. Hi, this is Bianca Alvarez.
I know that Mr. Smith is here because we've seen him and spoken to him this morning.
Yep, he's there.
Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you. Marvin Smith on behalf of Mrs. Alvarez.
Today is the day and time set for the adjourned pretrial in this matter. How are we proceeding this morning?
Judge, I just want an opportunity to talk to the prosecutor for a minute.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Oh, did Robert Geeter ever join us? Robert Geeter. Najee Goodman. Folks. This is 220039OM. This is City of Belleville versus Alan Bernard Folks.
Hey, you gotta be quiet. Grace, are you serious right now?
Ms. Alvarez?
I just muted her.
Thank you. Mr. Folks, state your name for the record, please, sir. Oh, really? Oh, shoot. Mary Ann, we try so hard. Don't leave, because I see him, his audio is just not connected.
Okay.
Mr. Piotrowski, is your client with you or Mr.
No,
Kovacs?
he is joined us on Zoom, Mr. Paul Kovacs. We are ready.
I see him now. Thank you. Mr. Kovacs.
Paul, identify yourself, please.
Oh, Paul Kovacs, yes, sorry.
Wait, no, it wasn't time yet. I need to, looking for the file, and I'm hoping that Mr. Folks gets himself connected. We have a couple of moving parts here right now. This is 21BL00922 A and B. These are City of Belleville versus Paul Kovacs.
Your Honor, good morning. Tom Piotrowski on behalf of the defendant. Paul, once again, would you identify yourself, please, by stating your name?
Paul Kovacs.
Thank you.
Your Honor, John Wiley on behalf of the people.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wiley. Today is the day and time set for the adjourned pretrial in this matter. How are we proceeding this morning?
Mr. Wiley?
Yeah, we have a prior plea offer on the table. I have not heard from Mr. Piotrowski regarding whether his client intends on taking that plea offer or not.
I'm sorry, I
You
haven't been in
need to go
contact.
into a breakout room.
No, Your Honor, I have been in contact with Mr. Nolan, and I didn't realize that he may have not advised you. I understand he just had a child a couple of days ago. But yes, we are accepting of their offer of count 1 to impaired, count 2 to double parking, with the original charges being dismissed.
I apologize. I see your email now. I just got it. So
Okay.
yes, that is correct.
Mr. Kovacs, were you able to hear the attorneys just now?
Yes, I was.
Would you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Kovacs, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes,
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine any witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
yes,
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
yes,
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
no,
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
yes,
Sir, is it true that on December 19, 2021, in the city of Belleville, you were double parked contrary to law?
yes,
Sir, is it also true that on December 19, 2021, in the city of Belleville, you operated a vehicle while you were impaired?
yes,
Satisfied, Mr. Wiley?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Piotrowski?
I am satisfied, Your Honor.
Sir, the court accepts your plea of responsible to double parking and guilty to operating while impaired. The next step in these proceedings is that the matter will be referred to the probation department for interview and sentencing. We have a phone number and email address in the file. The probation department will email you and set up a virtual interview. They'll send a recommendation for a sentence up to the courtroom. We'll schedule the matter for sentencing at that time. Anything else, Mr. Wiley?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Piotrowski?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Kovacs?
no, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Kovacs, please be responsive to the contacts from the probation department. I'll see you here after they get the sentencing scheduled, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
You too.
Are we ready on Alvarez?
Okay, this. Yes, Your Honor, ready.
210901, City of Romulus versus Bianca Alvarez.
Joshua Kaplan on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. May it please this honorable court, Marvin Smith on behalf of defendant Alvarez.
Today is the day and time set for the adjourned pretrial in this matter. How are we proceeding this morning?
Yes, Your Honor, we're going to accept the prosecutor's recommendation.
Ms. Alvarez, were you able to hear Mr. Smith just now?
Yes.
And you wish to avail yourself of the offer from the prosecutor to plead guilty to operating while impaired, understanding that the operating with any presence of drugs would be dismissed.
Okay, already.
Raise your right hand for me, please, ma'am. You swear affirm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. You put your hand down. Ma'am, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine any witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it true that on October 1st, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you operated a vehicle while you were impaired?
Yes, ma'am.
Satisfied, Mr. Kaplan?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Smith?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Ma'am, the next step in these the court will accept your plea of guilty to the added count of operating while impaired. The original charge of operating with any presence of drugs will be dismissed. The next step in these proceedings is that your case will be referred to the probation department for interview. They are the ones that make the sentencing recommendation and schedule the matter for sentencing. I do not see that we have your phone number and email address in the file. Mr. Smith, do you have that information that you could leave in the chat for Mary Ann, or should I have your client do that?
She probably is better off doing that because I don't know how to use that.
Ms. Alvarez, do you know how to use the chat function in Zoom?
Yes.
Send a chat directly to Mary Ann, which includes your phone number and your email address. She will add it to the file, and that's the information that the probation department will use to reach out to you to do the interview, have the forms completed, and schedule the matter for sentencing, okay?
Okay.
Anything else in this matter, Mr. Kaplan?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Smith?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day. Ms. Alvarez, if you complete that task before you leave, I'd appreciate it. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Just got it done.
Oh, wonderful. Have a good day. I'll see you when they schedule your sentencing.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Folks' audio still is not connected, but the officer is here. I don't know how to. Let's put it up for a second. I had an attorney file an appearance and. Have we been joined by Dean Akanui?
This is Dean Ankuni, Your Honor. Good morning, and we are ready for the arraignment for Justine Bellavender.
Thank you, Mr. Akanui. This is 22BL00036 A and B, City of Belleville versus Justine Bellavender.
Justine, could you state your name for the record, please?
Yep, it's Justine Bellavender.
For purposes of arraignment, Your Honor, we are aware of the charges and we waive a formal reading of those charges on the record, and she'll be standing mute.
Thank you.
And Judge, I did have a meeting with the city attorney today. He's going to be forwarding some discovery to my office. If we could have a pretrial on this matter, possibly sometime in March, mid-March, possibly.
Let's back up just a little bit. Bond in this matter will be set at 5,000 personal. The adjourn date in this matter will be March the 17th, 2022 at 10:10 a.m. That's back here with me in courtroom number 1. We still will be appearing virtually.
Thank you, Judge. That's a good day in my calendar.
Anything else, Mr. Wiley?
No, I have Mr. Ankuni's contact information, so I will be forwarding those documents along to him.
Anything else, Mr. Ancuni?
Nothing further, Judge. Have a wonderful day.
You too. I'll see you back here in March.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck to you,
Justine, you
ma'am.
can disconnect.
Thank you.
Mr. Folk still does not have his audio connected. Mr. Watkins. This is 22BL00050T. This is City of Belleville versus Mark Allen Watkins. Sir, would you state your name for the record, please? You're muted, sir.
Mark Allen Watkins.
Thank you. Mr. Watkins, today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial. It's alleged that on January 1st, 2022, in the city of Belleville, you drove while your license was not valid or you had an improper license. It's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, fines up to $500 plus court costs. There is an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead guilty to the added count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive, that the driving while license suspended would be dismissed. Do you wish to accept that offer from the prosecutor? Would you like to speak
Yes,
to the
ma'am.
court-appointed attorney, or would you like to proceed on your own? Yes, ma'am. To which part, sir?
I would like to plead guilty to the charges.
Sir, would you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Sir, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, I do.
You won't have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine any witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
I accept that.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes,
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
I have not.
You're pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty.
Yes,
Sir, is it true that on this January 1st, 2022, in the city of Belleville, you allowed someone to operate a vehicle who was not authorized by law to operate a vehicle?
I was the operator of the vehicle.
And were you not authorized to drive vehicles at that time?
Because of an invalid license, yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Wiley?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Watkins, the court will accept your plea of guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive. Driving while license suspended would be dismissed. Have you since resolved your license issue?
No, Your Honor, it's in the state of Ohio, and I'm lacking a lot of information on it. And I do plan on heading down there and taking care of it.
Is that the only other thing, the Ohio thing? Is that the only thing that's holding up your license?
Yes,
Is there anything you'd like to say before fines and costs are assessed, sir?
no, thank you.
Mr. Watkins, the court will assess minimal fines and costs. There's a $200 fine. There's $100 in costs. There's $75 crime victims fee. There's $50 mandatory state cost and $20 fund fee. That's $445. Do you need more than 7 days to pay this amount?
No, I don't.
Sir, you can either go online and pay, you can mail it into the court, or you can bring it physically to the courthouse. Anything else, Mr. Wiley? Oh, sorry, Mr. Watkins, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Anything else, Mr. Wiley?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Watkins?
Nope. Thank you.
Have a good day, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
I think Mr. Folks finally got his audio connected.
Yes.
This is 220039OM. This is City of Belleville versus Alan Folks. Sir, would you state your name for the record?
Alan Folks.
Mr. Folks, today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial. The prosecutor is here. I've turned the video to the officers in this matter, that being DPW Director Rick Rutherford and Officer Bart DeVos. There is a request from the prosecutor to adjourn this matter for 60 days to permit inspection by the city and for the issuance of a CFO. Do you have any objection to that, sir?
Yes, I object to all of this. I don't know what it is.
Okay, then Mr. Folks, let's stop. If you have an objection to that,
Yes.
this is the day and time for your arraignment, so we'll do the arraignment. It's alleged that on February 1st, 2021, in the city of Belleville, you failed to obtain a certificate of occupancy for the residence. It was an occupied building for which a certificate of occupancy had not been issued in violation of the City of Belleville Code of Ordinances. The location being 354 West Columbia Avenue. Sir, this is a misdemeanor. For purposes of arraignment, were you looking to proceed on your own this morning, or were you looking for the assistance of the court-appointed attorney?
I would like the assistance of an attorney.
Are you the driver or the passenger, sir?
I'm the passenger.
You're going to go into a breakout room with Mr. Batar. He's going to discuss the matter with you. Again, this is about not having a certificate of occupancy. The prosecutor is asking for an adjournment to allow you an opportunity to get your documentation with the city right. When you come out of the breakout room, we will call the matter and figure out how we're proceeding, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Hayes,
Yes, ma'am.
this is 22BL000420M. This is City of Belleville versus Ryan Hayes. Would you state your name for me, please, sir?
Ryan Hayes.
Mr. Hayes, today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial. Sir, it's alleged that on January 19, 2022, in the city of Belleville, you were trespassing. This is a misdemeanor, punishable after 90 days in jail and fines of up to $500 plus court costs. There is an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead guilty to the charge of trespassing, sentence in this matter will be deferred for a period of 6 months, and so long as you incurred no new misdemeanors in the state of Michigan and paid the costs assessed by the court, that the matter will be reviewed for dismissal. Would you like to accept the offer from the prosecutor?
No, ma'am.
Speak to the court-appointed attorney, or proceed on your own this morning.
I can proceed on my own this morning.
How would you like to proceed for purposes of arraignment, Mr. Hayes?
I would like to go to discovery in order to do discovery so that I can,
Mr. Hayes,
yes, ma'am.
we're not there yet. We're not
Okay.
there yet. For purposes of arraignment, there's going to be guilty, not guilty, or stand mute, which means say nothing.
Oh, not guilty.
Not guilty. Bond in this matter will be set at 1,000 personal, which means you do not have to post any money, but what you must do is appear at all future court dates in this matter.
I
The next
understand,
step
Your
in these
Honor.
proceedings, the next step in these proceedings is the pretrial. You've already indicated to the court that you are asking for discovery in this matter, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Wiley, the prosecutor for the city of Belleville, is here. He hears your request for discovery. Based on that request, this pretrial will be adjourned. This court's adjournment date for Belleville is March 17th, 2022 at 10:30 a.m. That's back with me, courtroom number 1. We will still be appearing virtually at that point.
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Wiley?
No, but could you just say the time one more time, Your Honor? Sorry.
10:30 a.m. on March the 17th, courtroom number 1, appearing
Thank you.
virtually. Discovery requested. Anything else, Mr. Wiley?
That's everything, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Hayes?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You have a wonderful day.
You too.
Thank you. There's a woman in a green, looks like sweater, and a man with a red sweater on. What are you here for, please?
Right now I'm here. I was scheduled to do a meeting for.
Is it your case, sir?
Yes,
What is your name?
Renardo Brown.
Mr. Brown. Mr. Kaplan, are you ready on something?
No, I just logged back in because it was Renardo Brown's the Romulus case.
Okay. Mr. Brown, you have a couple of things. First and foremost, I think we're boring, Mr. Kaplan.
I'll never be bored of this honorable court, Your Honor.
Yeah. This is 151683 OT. This is City of Romulus versus Bernardo Lamar Brown. Mr. Brown, would you state your name for the record, please, sir?
Renardo Lamar Brown.
Mr. Brown, there is actually a warrant for you in this case. You failed to appear for an adjourned pretrial back in December 7th, 2015. The matter was rescheduled and you were supposed to be here for arraignment and pretrial back on November 4th, 2021 with Judge Oakley. There's a warrant in place for your arrest right now. 5,010%. You had previously entered a not guilty plea back in October 2015 in this matter. This is a driving while license suspended that occurred on April 27, 2015. This matter probably is scheduled. Sir, would you sit up, please? Matter is scheduled for show cause. I don't know that Mr. Kaplan has it on his docket for the day. This court will cancel the warrant, set your bond in this matter at 5,000 personal. You don't need to post anything, but what you must do is appear. We're going to schedule a pretrial in this matter for March the 17th, 2022 at 9:20 a.m. That's back with me on Zoom.
At 9:20.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now is this for what is this for what you suspended the 2015?
This is the 2015 case that is scheduled for show cause because you failed to appear for it back in 2015. And then there was a warrant. The warrant was recalled. You were supposed to be here in November 2021 with Judge Oakley. You did not appear. A fresh warrant issued for you. The matter was for show cause this morning to explain to the court why you had not been here on this matter that is now almost 7 years old. Is there a reason why you haven't resolved this matter that's been hanging around since April of 2015?
Yeah, I mean, I got caught up into drug addictions, different, there's no excuse. I could have, but I thought this, excuse me, Judge, but I thought this was for. I thought this was for the paraphernalia and the line.
It is, Mr. Brown. And when you gave me your name and I pulled your files, I said you have a couple of things with this court this morning. The most pressing is, and I started with the 2015 case.
Oh,
because it's been
okay.
hanging around, and I didn't think that
Okay.
you wanted me to keep a warrant in place. If you want me to put the
No,
warrant
no,
back,
you're
I'm happy
right.
to.
No, no, you're right. It didn't dawn on me that I knew I had a want with you guys, but I was actually across in Westland, and I was getting into that's around the same time I developed a drug addiction problem, and I just got sidetracked and went through roller coasters. So
Life gets in the way
this is-
sometime, Mr. Brown, but we'll move on to the matters that arose last October, okay?
Okay.
Which is why I think you are here this morning. These are 21 RP 02610 A and B. These are City of Romulus versus Renardo Brown. Mr. Brown, you also failed to appear in these matters previously. They're scheduled this morning with me for show cause arraignment and pretrial. You are here on time, which demonstrates to the court a desire to resolve these matters. It is alleged that on October 5th, 2021, in the city of Romulus, good grief, you gave false information to a police officer. This is a misdemeanor. On that same day, October 5th, 2021, you were in possession of narcotic paraphernalia. Again, both of these matters are misdemeanors. There is an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead guilty as charged in this matter, sentence would be deferred for 12 months, so long as you paid the cost assessed by the court and did not incur any new criminal cases. The matter will be reviewed for dismissal. Would you like to proceed on your own this morning, or would you like to speak to the court-appointed attorney?
I kind of would like to. I guess I would like to speak to the attorney only because I couldn't make any of the court dates because they arrested me and I had a felony warrant with Wayne County. So I ended up going into Wayne County and I spent almost a month and a half. Then they put me on tether and I spent another month and a half. Then I caught COVID. And so I couldn't make.
You spent 6 weeks waiting for a tether and then you caught COVID in the jail?
Yeah. So I was
Mr.
in jail. Yeah, I was in jail for the felony warrant that they arrested me for. So I went to Wayne County and then I spent like maybe almost 40 days in Wayne County, and then they released me because the judge, he only gave me 52 days plus 140 days time served. So they released me, but I had to finish up like 2.5, almost 3 weeks on tether. But right before I got off of the tether, I caught COVID, and they put me into a COVID unit. They released me, but they released me to Christian Guidance Center, which was a drug treatment program while I was on tether. And then I caught COVID, and then once I got over the COVID, I came to Abundant Community, which I'm currently at, and I'm sitting with my case manager.
Hi, Your Honor. Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
All right.
Mr. Brown, what I'm going to have you do is sit tight. Our court-appointed attorney is in a breakout room with someone else. When he's done, I'm going to put you in with him. You can talk about the case with him. We'll give him the offer from the prosecutor. We'll see if we can get your matters resolved with us, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Sit tight.
Okay.
Okay, Mary Ann.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. Is it still raining or is it snowing yet?
Raining. Yes. Very
Back
much.
on the record for folks, are we ready?
Yeah. Fence is ready.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Wiley's here, DPW's here, the officer's here, Mr. Batar is here. For purposes of arraignment, how are we proceeding in this matter, Mr. Batar?
Your Honor, with respect to the arraignment, we'll waive a formal reading and stand mute, please.
Mr. Folks' bond will be set at 1,000 personal. Mr. Folks, you do not need to post any money, but what you must do is attend all future court dates in this matter. For purposes of pretrial, how are we proceeding, Mr. Batar?
Judge, I believe the prosecution has recommended that we adjourn this matter for 60 days so Mr. Folks can obtain a permanent inspection of the house by the city's inspector.
Officer DeVos and DPW are here. They're raising their hand. The camera is pointed on them. Sir, what is it you'd like to say?
Your Honor, we've tried to set up inspections with this gentleman before. At one point, he gave us a 3-week period. I'll do it on this date. So we waited the 3 weeks. When the 3 weeks came up, we showed up at the residence, and again, he refused us entry to do the home inspection. So in reference to him, he continues to delay, and we can't, they're living in a house in which he filled out on May 7th of 2021, a certificate of occupancy permit application. He knows that it has to be inspected before he can live in it, and he is currently living in there with his family.
And our biggest concern is, upon inspection, 7 of 15, it was found that there's an unsafe structure, the barn in the back, the foundation of the house is, they had makeshift timbers for added support. So our real concern is the structural safety of the resident.
And just for the record, Mr. Folks has also removed his mailbox from his home, so there's no communicating with him by mail, which we attempted. And when I went over there, I actually had to advise him of this court case as I caught him coming out of the residence, because we can't send him anything by mail because he removed the mailbox.
Can somebody mute Taylor Lewis? I can't hear anything.
It's done.
Thank you.
Were you able to hear that Mr. Folks does not have a mailbox on the property?
I know that now. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, where we are, officer, is that your prosecutor has asked for this matter to be adjourned for 60 days. Mr. Batar is now here representing Mr. Folks. I will state on this record that this matter will be adjourned for 60 days as requested by the prosecutor. The secretary will need to mail that date out. I don't have our calendar. I don't have the calendar going out to April. I do not think that I will still be on Belleville cases at that time. I'm not sure, Mary Ann, if you know, let me know. The notice says, my notes in the file say adjourn 60 days, secretary to mail notice. If defendant does not allow the inspection, sanctions may attach. So whatever the 60-day date is, whatever it turns out to be, if Mr. Folks has failed to participate in allowing you, I'm looking at the wrong person, allowing you to inspect the property and have a certificate of occupancy issue, whichever judge is assigned to the case, and here's this follow-up pretrial, will not look favorably upon his failure to cooperate with the city. I don't know why somebody would not have a mailbox at their property. I like getting my mail, but that's me. I might be funny that way.
Depends on what kind of mail you're getting, Your Honor.
I'm getting the Van Buren beat. Anything else, Mr. Wiley?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Batar?
Mr. Wiley, could you send me a report if you have one, please?
Yes, what is your preferred contact?
Mr. Folks, were you able to hear these proceedings?
Yes, ma'am, I was. Thank
Do
you
you
for asking.
understand the need for you to cooperate with the city?
I understand.
Okay.
But, I do have one comment. I also understand that the two people standing in the courtroom.
Mr. Folks?
Yes, ma'am.
Before you say what you're about to say, think about, do you need to say it, okay?
Okay, I will. So the
Do you need to say it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So the people in the courtroom have the power to not issue the certificate of occupancy within the 60 days. And the statement that Your Honor made, if I don't, within the 60 days, schedule the inspection and obtain a certificate of occupancy, the court will not look favorable upon me. Listening to the inspector for the times that I have, and hearing him, he has said he's probably not going to issue a certificate of occupancy until all this work is completed. That I do not see that happening in 60 days.
Mr. Folks, the city
Mr.
is letting
Folks?
you,
I'm sorry, go ahead, Mr. Bitar.
thank you, Judge. Mr. Folks, the city is telling you you need to start the process to obtain that C of O and allow the inspection. If we start that process, I'm sure we'll be able to work something out with the city, but you have to start the process. Do you understand that?
I understand
That,
the
Mr.
state-
Folks, don't say anything else. I'm your attorney. I don't want you to say anything on the record that could harm our case. So we'll talk on the phone later on today. You
Okay.
understand?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you,
Judge.
Mr. Folks. Have a good day.
You too, ma'am. Your Honor.
Mr. Bitar, we have Mr. Brown here. He has a false information to police, possession of narcotics paraphernalia. The offer is 12 months deferred. Mr. Brown has an explanation for some things that have occurred with him over the last couple of months. Would you go into a breakout room and discuss the case with him?
Sure. And Mr. Wiley, you can send me an email at danielbatar@hotmail.com.
I'm on.
Got it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Contact him and set up a date for the inspection. Is that what
However you all normally do business to get those inspections scheduled, you do it that way. Don't do anything extraordinary. Do it how you always do it.
we do? The big problem is normally we do it by mail, certified mail. So he's removed the mailbox on purpose so that
Hey, Dan, it's breakout room 3.
Okay, one second, Marianne, please.
Okay.
coming out of the house.
Can you hear me?
And if you tell that story to whoever is on the April docket, I'm sure they won't appreciate it. But I think that most people want to get mail or will contact you to schedule the appointment. I don't care how it happens. My notes are in the file and I'm done with it.
Your Honor, with respect to the inspectors, what they're saying, I've advised Mr. Folks to go into the city hall tomorrow and to set up the appointment.
You heard that?
Fantastic.
Everybody's on the same page now. Wonderful.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Brown, please go in with Mr. Bitar.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a wonderful day. Good to see you both.
Judge, I hate to interrupt, but your 9:40, Lewis and Mr. Nunley are ready.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Always interrupt me when the 9:40 is ready at 11 o'clock. That's a breach of my desire to be timely. How dare I make these people wait? 210786 OM. This is City of Romulus versus Taylor Lewis.
Royce Nunley appearing on behalf of the defendant. I believe today was a date and time scheduled for a final pre-trial where the victim must appear. I don't know if Mr. Kaplan can confirm or deny whether the victim is here and ready to move forward.
I was not able to make contact with the victim, Nisha Robinson. I'm sure Mr. Nunley will have a motion with that effect.
Yeah.
Before you do, Ms. Lewis, would you state your name for the record?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Taylor Lewis.
Thank you. Mr. Nunley, your motion.
In honor of Mr. Kaplan's last day as city prosecutor for Romulus, we would motion to dismiss.
Oh, thank you.
Any response, Mr. Kaplan?
No, Your Honor. Thanks for the kindness, Mr. Nunley.
Mr. Nunley, the court grants your motion to dismiss this matter. It is hereby dismissed. Ms. Lewis, thank you for your patience this morning. You have a wonderful day, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Thank you guys so much. Have a great day. Thank you.
I did have one more, Judge, that was scheduled way back when at 10 a.m. and I have been unable to get a hold of Ms. Hendricks. And I don't know if you want me to stick around for any longer or if I should just sign off.
I don't need you to stick around for any longer. Just give me 1 second.
No problem.
I cannot believe you said that out loud. We're not supposed to say it out loud because if you don't say it, it doesn't happen.
If only that could be true.
Listen, I believe in unicorns and fairy dust, so I'm not the person to. This is
Doesn't.
21BL00912, A, B, and C. These are City of Belleville versus Brianna Hendricks. Mr. Nunley, as indicated, these matters were scheduled. The court's notes are at 10 a.m. It's now 11:02 by the court's clock. The court usually allows 15 minutes for parties to appear. Have you been in contact with Ms. Hendricks?
I have not, and I do not have a working phone number for her any longer either.
Inasmuch as she has failed to appear, the Allegations are driving while license suspended, no proof of insurance, and a registration or plate violation. These are not assault crimes. The matters will be scheduled for show cause. Anything else, Mr. Nunley?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry to interrupt, Your Honor. It's Attorney Sam Jadala. I have a similar situation with John Brown.
Here you go. Mr. Brown is 17-4861 City of Romulus versus John Scott Brown.
And Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Brown. And I believe this matter was set for either 9 or 9:30 a.m. this morning. I've been unable to reach Mr. Brown. I have no reason for his non-appearance today.
The matter was scheduled at 9:30 by the court's notes. It is now 11:03 a.m. Defendant having failed to appear, the allegations being assault and battery, malicious destruction of property, and reckless driving, crimes that are in part assaultive in nature. Mr. Brown has previous failures to appear in this matter. For that reason, this court will issue a warrant 5,010% as to Mr. Brown. If he is able to get in contact with the court the next 48 hours, the matter could possibly be rescheduled. Anything else, Mr. Kaplan?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You do the same, Your Honor. May you and your staff have a wonderful day. You also, Mr. Kaplan.
Thank you, Mr. Jadala. Appreciate that.
Mr. Kowalski,
Yes,
how are you today?
good.
Really? Are you laying down, sir?
No,
Okay. Are you ready for your case to be called?
yes.
Would you sit up and take your hood off for me, please? This is 21 RP 00342 A and B. These are City of Romulus versus Dorian Kowalski. Sir, today is the day and time set for your I would say arraignment and pretrial. Why did the note say March 7th? Marianne, I'm looking at these files. It says that Mr. Kowalski is supposed to be here on March 7th. That can't.
Yeah, they rescheduled me sooner.
I'm looking for that. I'm looking for where they moved it up to today, but I wonder if they just did not print. They must not have printed out the next page. Oh, I see your notes, Marianne. I'll get to that in just one second. Sir, today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial. It's alleged that on January 26, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you committed the misdemeanor of reckless driving. On that same day, January 26, 2021, you also had a registration or plate violation. This is another misdemeanor. There is an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead responsible to careless driving, that the reckless driving and the registration or plate violation would be dismissed. For purposes of arraignment, would you like to accept the offer from the prosecutor, speak to the court-appointed attorney, or proceed on your own, sir?
I'd proceed with it.
You'd like to do what?
Proceed with the attorney, right? Yeah, talk to the attorney.
You'll see an invitation to go out to the breakout room with Mr. Patar. Please join him there to discuss your case, sir.
All right.
He's in the breakout room with another defendant right now.
Yes, ma'am.
And Your Honor, just for time purposes, I believe Mr. Robinson is here for that 11 a.m. trial, and we would need a breakout room with Officer Schick on that whenever the court's available for it.
Thank you. Marianne will do that right now. I'm going to call a Belleville case. Autumn Simler. Autumn Simler.
Yes.
This is 22 BL 00028 A and B. These are City of Belleville versus Autumn Similar. Please state your name for me, ma'am.
Autumn Similar.
Today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial, ma'am. It's alleged that on January 15, 2022, in the City of Belleville, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, fines of up to $500 plus court costs. It's also alleged that on that day you were speeding 16 to 20 over the posted speed limit. This is a civil infraction. Fines and costs are typically $180. There is an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive and responsible to double parking, that the driving while license suspended and the speeding ticket would be dismissed. Would you like to accept these offers? Speak to
Yes,
the
Your
court
Honor.
appointed attorney or proceed on your own.
Accept the offer.
Ma'am, would you raise your right hand for me, please?
Yes.
Do you swear or affirm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. Ma'am, you understand that if the court accepts your pleas this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Okay.
You understand that you will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
Have you been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead in this matter?
No.
Are you doing so freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Ma'am, is it true that on January 15, 2022, in the City of Belleville, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, is it also true that on January 15, 2022, in the City of Belleville, you allowed a person to operate a vehicle who by law was not authorized to operate a vehicle?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Wiley?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, the court accepts your plea of guilty to double parking. I'm sorry, responsible to double parking and guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive. As previously indicated, the fine for the double parking will be $400. Is there anything you'd like to say before the court assess fines and costs on the allowing an unlicensed driver to drive?
No.
Ma'am, are you employed?
Yes.
Where do you work and how long have you been there?
Like a year in McDonald's.
Other than these matters with the court, do you have any other outstanding matters?
I'm paying my other 2 tickets right now, actually.
Okay, ma'am, what the court will do is assess minimum fines and costs on the allowing an unlicensed driver to drive. The fine will be $200. The cost will be $100. There's $75 crime victims fee. There's $50 mandatory state cost, $20 building fee. That's $445. The court is able to add that payment, a payment plan in these cases to your existing payment plan. Is that something you'd like to do?
Yes, please.
We're going to send you into a waiting room for you to talk to our collections department. So please do not disconnect this morning, but go into the waiting room. There'll be somebody there shortly to discuss this matter with you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me, I had to be here at 10:40 and I didn't hear my name get called.
Ms. Washington, it's because I have not called your name yet. If you give me just a moment, I'll get to you in just a second, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Were we ready on Brown?
We are, Your Honor. Could I just confirm what the offer was? I heard a deferral under 771.1, but I did not know whether it was to one count or more than, if one count would be dismissed. Josh?
This is on Renardo Brown.
Yes.
Let's see. And what were the 2 counts on this? This is a
Paraphernalia and false info.
All right, we'll dismiss the false info. I'm glad he seems like he's doing much better. And then on the possession narcotics paraphernalia, do the deferment.
Thank you. We're ready, Judge.
Recalling 21 RP 02610A and B. Have your appearances, please.
Josh,
Daniel Baton.
people.
Sorry, Josh. Daniel Batar on behalf of Mr. Brown, Your Honor. He is going to accept the offer. He is going to plead guilty to the one count with the deferral under 771.1 for 12 months.
Mr. Brown, were you able to hear Mr. Batar just now?
Yes, I was.
Did you have sufficient time to discuss these cases with him?
Yes, I did. I just wanted it to be known, let the court know that
Mr. Brown, I'm going to speak on, I'm going to speak on your behalf.
Okay. All right. Well, yes, I did, Your Honor.
Mr. Brown, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. Sir, you understand that if the court accepts your pleas this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, I do.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead
No,
guilty in
Your
this
Honor.
matter?
No, Your
You're
Honor.
pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty.
Yes.
Sir, is it true that on October 5th, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you were in possession of narcotic paraphernalia?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Kaplan?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Batar?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Brown, the court will accept your plea of guilty to the possession of the narcotics paraphernalia. As previously indicated, since in this matter will be deferred for a period of 12 months. The other misdemeanor matter that was scheduled for this morning, false information to the police, will be dismissed. Is there something you'd like to say, Mr. Batar, before the court assess costs in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor. As Mr. Kaplan indicated, Mr. Brown has taken steps to get his life in order. He's currently in treatment. He's at Abundant Recovery, which is residential housing treatment, Judge. He's going to be there for at least the next 12 months. He's there with his caseworker right now. She is in the background. He's doing everything he can to try and make himself a better person and get any issues he has under control. The only thing we would bring to the court's attention with respect to that, Judge, is that Mr. Brown is not working right now. He's going to be in that treatment facility for the next several months. So we're asking the court to possibly consider waiving his fines and costs or reducing his fines and costs because he might not have the ability to make payments. Or if possible, he is willing to do some community service, Judge.
Mr. Brown, do you have any source of income at this time?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
Do you have the ability to do community service at this time?
Yes, I do.
Hi, Your Honor. Tanya Murphy. Wayne County, as well as Oakland and Macomb, they refer to our agency for community service. We are a nonprofit. And, when the, usually it's the probation officers that refer, for however many hours, we'll give a log as well as a letter, stating that he did complete the community service, as well as we implement a therapeutic curriculum based on the charge. So he can do it here.
Ms. Murphy, is it possible for him to do 8 hours of community service a month?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Brown, what the court is going to assess you is a total of 96 hours of community service. That's 8 hours a month for the next 12 months. So long as you do that and you send proof on the nonprofit's letterhead that it's done, the court will review the matter and dismiss the case. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else, Mr. Kaplan?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Batar?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Brown, good luck to you, sir.
Okay, thank you. I got one question though. So the 12-month period, does it start today or tomorrow? Like, do I get a date so I can mark down when I need to turn in the community service paperwork and stuff like that with the letterhead and stuff? So
My secretary will put that information in the file. Miriam might have the file. She'll put it in the file over the next day or two. Just, you know what, just leave it. Just leave it right here. It might still be in here. I'm sorry. Mr. Brown, we won't get to 12 months in a week and say, aha, you didn't turn your proof of community service in. That's not how we operate. It doesn't benefit us. You
All
have
right.
been very forthright, forthcoming this morning. Mary Ann will get that information put in. Just presume that it'll be a year from today, okay?
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Brown?
No, I'll see you in March.
You
For
will
the
see me.
warrant.
Oh, yep, you'll see me for the
Yeah.
2015 case. Thank you. You have a great
Okay.
memory, sir. I'll
All
see you
right.
then.
Okay, thank you.
Good luck, Mr.
Thank
Brown.
you, Mr.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a good day, ma'am. Mr.
Okay.
Bitar, please go in with Mr. Kowalski. He has a reckless driving and a registration or plate violation. The offer is careless driving.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sanchez, right, Mary Ann? I'm sorry. Serena Sanchez, 21BL00568 BOT. Ms. Sanchez. Ms. Washington.
Hello. Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
This is
Okay.
22BL00039 B and C. These are city of.
Okay.
I knew there had to be an A. Hold on. A, B, and C. These are City of Belleville versus Kanita Washington Rogers. State your name for me, please, ma'am.
Anita Washington Rogers.
Ma'am, today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial. It's alleged that on January 18, 2022, in the city of Belleville, you drove while your license was not valid, or you had an improper license, ma'am. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, fines of up to $500 plus court costs. On that same January 18, 2022, sorry, Mary Ann, you were also issued 2 civil infractions. One was for speeding 11 to 15 over the posted limit. Fines and costs are typically $170. And then violation of the child restraint law. Again, fines and costs are typically $130. There's an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive and responsible to double parking and pay a fine of $400 for the double parking, that the driving while license suspended, the child registration, and the speeding would be dismissed.
Yes, I'll take that.
Ma'am, do you wish to have the opportunity to speak to the court-appointed attorney, or are you comfortable proceeding on your own?
I'm comfortable with proceeding on my own.
Please raise your right hand for me, ma'am. Do you swear or affirm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Put your hand down. Ma'am, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
I understand.
You won't have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Okay.
And ma'am, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
No one's threatened you in any way, promised you anything to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Ms. Washington, could you stop moving around for just one moment, please?
I'm sorry.
Ma'am, is it true that on January 18th, 2022, you allowed a person to operate a vehicle who by law cannot operate a vehicle?
Yes.
Is it also true that on January 18th, 2022, in the city of Belleville, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Wiley?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, the court accepts your plea of guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive, will assess a fine of $200, cost of $100, $75 crime victims, $50 state costs, and $20 fund fee. That's $445. Court also accepts your plea of responsible to being double parked. That's $400. That's a total of $845. Are you able to pay that in 7 days, or do you need to speak to the collections department?
Speak to the collection department.
You're going to be transferred in to speak to her. Again, the total is $845. Please start thinking about when you can start making payments and in what amount, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Kaplan, is your trial going?
I'm not sure. We're seeing if we can reach a resolution. That's why they're in the break room. If I can get put in the breakout room with everybody that's in there right now.
Thank you. Mary Ann will take care of that. Angel Wilson. This is 22 BL 00048 A and B. These are City of Belleville versus Wilson. Please state your name for me, ma'am.
Angel Wilson.
Ms. Wilson, today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial. Ma'am, it's alleged that on January 22nd, 2022, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, fines of up to $500 plus court costs. On that same day, January 22nd, 2022, also in the City of Belleville, you were issued a civil infraction for having defective or missing equipment. It actually indicates there was window tint. The fines and costs typically assessed in that matter would be $150. There is an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive, that the driving while license suspended and the window tint ticket would be dismissed. Do you wish to accept that offer, speak to the court-appointed attorney, or proceed on your own this morning?
A court-appointed lawyer.
You're going to see, oh, not yet. Mr. Batar is in the breakout room with another person. If you sit tight, we will get back to you and he'll be able to discuss that offer with you, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Tiana.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi.
Hello.
I need your last name, please, ma'am.
Freeman. Tiana
Ms.
Freeman.
Give me 1 moment to get your file. This is 21BL000848 OD. This is City of Belleville versus Tiana Freeman. State your name for me again, please, ma'am.
Tiana Freeman.
Ma'am, today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial. It's alleged that on October 31st, 2021, in the City of Belleville, you operated a vehicle while you were intoxicated. Ma'am, this is a misdemeanor punishable up to 93 days in jail and fines of up to $500 plus court costs. There are other possible penalties as well. There is an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead guilty to operating while visibly impaired, that the operating while intoxicated will be dismissed. Do you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor?
Yes, I will.
Court-appointed attorney or proceed on your own?
Plead guilty to the charge, ma'am.
Ma'am, would you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're giving this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Ma'am?
Yes.
You can put your hand down now. You understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you won't have a trial of any kind?
Correct.
You won't have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor?
Correct.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, not at all.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Ma'am, is it true that on October 31st, 2021, in the City of Belleville, you operated a vehicle while you were visibly impaired?
Correct.
Satisfied, Mr. Wiley?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, the court accepts your plea of guilty to operating while visibly impaired, to operating while intoxicated, and the operating while intoxicated will be dismissed. The next step in these proceedings is, although, let me see, I'm sorry. Your bond is going to be set at $5,000 personal. You are not to purchase, possess, consume alcohol until this matter is resolved in its entirety. The next step in these proceedings is that the probation department will be emailing and calling you. There will be forms for you to complete. There is an interview for you to schedule. They will do a pre-sentence investigation, an interview that will allow them to make a recommendation on what your sentence should be in this matter. They are the ones that will schedule you for sentencing. Please cooperate with them and respond to their efforts to contact you, okay?
Okay,
Anything else, Ms. Freeman?
not at the time. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. You have a wonderful day.
You as well. Thanks.
Are we ready with? I'm sorry? Mr. Batar, are we ready with Mr. Kowalski?
We are, Your Honor.
Back on the record in 21 RP 00342A and B.
Daniel Batar, on behalf of Mr. Kowalski, Your Honor, is going to plead responsible to the careless driving.
Mr. Kowalski, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear affirm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Were you able to hear Mr. Batar just now?
Yes.
And you put your hand down. You wish to accept the offer made by the prosecutor?
Yes.
You understand that the court accepts your plea this morning of responsible careless driving. You will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine any witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Understand that.
Sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
What?
I say you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily.
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead in this matter?
No.
Is it true, sir, that on January 26, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you drove a car carelessly?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Batar?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, the court accepts your plea of responsible to the careless driving in this matter, will assess fines and costs totaling $200. Do you need more than 7 days to pay this amount?
No, I can pay it today.
Mr. Kowalski, my apologies. You have a warrant fee of $150. That will bring your total to $350. Again, do you need more than 7 days to pay this amount?
Nope, I'll pay it today.
Okay. The file is going to be processed, so give it a little time before you make any effort to pay. You can pay online, you can mail it to the court, or you can bring it to the court, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You too.
Sanchez, Mr. Batar. Ms. Sanchez has a driving while license suspended. The offer is allowing unlicensed driver. And it says there was a speeding ticket associated with this.
Judge, it looks like she's still trying to connect.
Okay, while she's gone, you have Miss Angel Wilson. Miss Wilson has driving while license suspended and window tint. The offer is allowing unlicensed.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, Miss Sanchez, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Hi.
Hello.
So yeah, I pleaded not guilty to last time.
So what they.
Have all rejoined, which suggests to me that we are ready in DAL.
Yes, we have a resolution on this matter, Your Honor.
Oh, I'd love to hear that. This is 20R007497ON and 21R00788888OM. These are City of Romulus versus DAL Holdings. May I have your appearances, please?
Joshua Kaplan on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. For the record, Steve Robinson appearing on behalf of DAL Holdings. With me is Gurbachan Singh. I call him Tony. So Mr. Singh is the principal of DAL Holdings.
Thank you. Today is a day and time set for trial in this matter. Mr. Kaplan has indicated that there is a resolution. What is that, please?
Your Honor, I believe they are going to be pleading guilty to both counts, and we're going to take this under advisement under 771.1. It's going to be 4-month deferments. There are conditions that Mr. Robinson will put on the record. And we are requesting at the end of the 4 months, there be a status quo hearing to make sure that that the requirements are met and potential restitution to the city for work done be established.
Mr. Robinson.
That's correct, Your Honor. Just to clarify, for the court, will set the matter for a restitution hearing at the end of that 4 months. In addition, the status quo or the review, the court will note that this is a certificate of occupancy violation. And obviously the city wants the requirements or the process or necessary things that need to be done in order to obtain that certificate of occupancy to be done as a condition of the deferred sentence. That didn't come out as clear as I wanted it to, but I think we get the gist of it. So
Does it matter that does the court need to know what these conditions are? Or is it clear between the parties?
I think it's pretty clear. I think it's clear, Judge. I don't think we need to, because there may be additional requirements that we don't know about right now. But I can say that working with Ms. Mays from the city, we'll be able to iron those issues out, whatever they may be.
So just so we're clear.
Ironically, Judge, the architect that we have is the architect that built the court. So he's pretty familiar with what needs to be done. So
It's deferred for 4 months. And at the end of that 4 months, Mr. Kaplan says status conference, but it's actually a restitution hearing? Or is it both?
it would be both, Judge, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So status conference in 4 months, which will also be a hearing on restitution to the city. There are conditions of the work that are to be done. Is that it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
That's good with me. Is that good with you, Carol? I think she's on
It
mute.
is.
Oh,
It
okay.
is. Yes. Thank you.
So I don't know who is Romulus in 4 months, but Marianne, I'll keep the case and put the restitution hearing at the end of the Romulus docket in June, late June.
Okay.
If that makes sense. I'll fix my notes at the end, but we'll do it in just over 4 months. The court will assess costs of $500 at this time for your client to pay. Because this is a corporation and you appear with the agent for that corporation, I guess, Mr. Robinson, do you want to inquire if your client asked to his acceptance of this plea agreement?
I will, Your Honor. Mr. Singh, you've had an opportunity to hear the discussions, correct? You understand what needs to be done?
Exactly.
And you on behalf of the corporation is pleading guilty to the no certificate of requirement, the 2 violations, is that correct?
Yes, we do.
And what is your position with DAL Holdings?
I own that holding, I own that property, and I'm a president.
You're the president, and you have full authority to enter into this
Yes, I do.
agreement?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
No further questions, Judge.
Satisfied, Mr. Kaplan?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
The court accepts the plea of guilty to the no certificate of occupancy. Since it's deferred for 4 months, we'll schedule a status conference for sometime in late June. Notice will be mailed to the parties. $500 in costs assessed at this time, and there will be a restitution hearing in conjunction with the status conference. Anything else, Mr. Kaplan?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Hold on.
Anything else, Mr. Robinson?
Yeah, could I just have the court's indulgence for 1 moment, Judge?
Absolutely.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. See you back here in June. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Are we ready on Wilson?
We are, Your Honor.
Recalling the case that ends 4-8 A and B.
Daniel Batar on behalf of Ms. Wilson, Your Honor, she's going to take the offer. She will plead guilty to allowing an unlicensed person to drive.
Ms. Wilson, are you back?
Yes,
Were you able to hear Mr. Batar just now?
yes.
What's wrong?
Me?
Yeah.
Nothing. Why'd you say that?
Okay. Raise your right hand for me, please.
Okay.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. You put your hand down.
Okay.
You understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You won't have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
I'm sorry, what was that? I couldn't really hear.
You understand, I'm sorry, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine any witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
You're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Ms. Wilson, is it true that on January 22nd, 2022, in the city of Belleville, you allowed a person to operate a vehicle who by law could not operate that vehicle?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Wiley?
I am, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Batar?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Ms. Wilson, the court accepts your plea of guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive. The driving while license suspended will be dismissed. Is there anything you'd like to say before the court imposes fines and costs in this matter?
Judge, I would just let you know that she's 19 years old. She has a 5-month-old baby. She is working as a home health aide. Her license is not valid yet. She has 3 outstanding matters. 2 of them are issues where she has to continue making payments or finish her payments with respect to 2 other tickets. And she has 1 pending matter that has not been resolved. She's going to take care of those matters as soon as she can. We're asking the court to assess fines and costs.
Ms. Wilson, the court will assess a $100 fine, $100 in costs. There's $75 crime victims, $50 state costs that are mandatory, and fund fee of $20. It's $345. Do you need more than 7 days to pay this amount?
Yes.
Ms. Wilson, do not leave us right now. You're going to be moved into a breakout room to discuss a payment plan with our collections department, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're so welcome, man. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Last one, I think, Mr. Batar, fingers crossed, is Ms. Sanchez. It's a driving while license suspended out of Belleville. The offer is the same, allowing an unlicensed driver.
Okay, I'll go speak with her.
Thanks. Marianne, do we have any, who is
Judge,
Stephen?
he's an
Tremonti?
attorney.
I'm sorry.
He's an attorney. He's been waiting for his client. He said he's
Who's
ready.
his client?
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Tremonti. My apologies. Who's your client?
Mr. Ramon Barber, he is not present at this time.
He's not present, not going to become present.
Your Honor, I have been in constant communication with him over the last few days. I'm frankly shocked that he is not here this morning. I've been trying to reach him through several mechanisms, but have been unsuccessful.
Well, this is 21BL00880 A and B. Hold on one second. And 21BL00940 A and B. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Oh. May I have your appearances, please?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Steve Tramontina on behalf of Mr. Barber.
Morning, Your Honor. John Wiley on behalf of the people.
Mr.
Your Honor, as I
Trumpet,
said,
I
Mr.
received from,
Go ahead.
I received from the prosecutor some pleas, and if the pleas were not acceptable, to adjourn the hearing to exchange discovery. So, inasmuch as your client's not here, how do you wish to proceed, sir?
Your Honor, as I said, Mr. Barber has been earnest in trying to resolve this. He retained counsel. I've been in contact with Mr. Nolan on his behalf. I spoke with him as recently as last night. He acknowledged receipt of the Zoom invite. I can only guess that something unforeseen has occurred, Your Honor. I would ask for an adjournment on his behalf under the circumstances. If the court is disinclined to do that, certainly would like to avoid a bench warrant, given the nature of the offense and that this would be his first failure to appear.
Mr. Wiley, any comment?
No objection to an adjournment.
Thank you. We'll adjourn this matter to March the 17th, 2022 at 10:50 a.m. It's back here with me, courtroom number 1, back by Zoom. Mr. Trimerton, I saw your name. I didn't recognize you as the attorney because I didn't see the video. Don't sit, always chat Mary Ann, because that just means I didn't see you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have been chatting with Mary Ann. I was waiting to see if he would appear. I appreciate both of you. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too, sir. Thank you.
Thanks.
Mary Ann, are you sneaking and talking to people?
Am I what?
I said, are you sneaking and talking to people?
I am. Yes, I am. Can you give me that date again so I can write it on my notes? I'm sorry. Please.
3/17 at 10:50.
Thank you.
I kept seeing his name, but I did not recognize the name.
Right.
And because you didn't say anything and I didn't see him, I figured, hey, we'll just all hang out here together and see what happens.
Your Honor,
Mr.
I'm
What do
sorry.
you want?
May I inquire as to what that plea offer was? I haven't had a chance to conference with the prosecutor.
Plea to driving while license suspended and speeding in the 880 cases and the 940 cases would be dismissed.
Thank you.
Mr. Kaplan, my docket started at 9 o'clock. It's now 11:45. Anybody who hasn't appeared for your docket, I presume that they are not going to come. I'm not letting anybody else in unless you want to sit around and listen to me do failures to appear.
You're muted.
Sorry.
you, sir.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
Same here, sir. Be well.
Gonna
You too.
miss you, Josh. Take
I'll
care.
miss you too. I'm gonna find a way to be around. I'm
All
gonna
right.
start filing a bunch of maze motions around there. See you guys.
See ya.
So Mary Ann, were you witnessing the show of Marlisa out here looking for a file?
I did see her dancing back there. Yes, I did.
People, that door is loud, and when people open it, I have to stop what I'm doing because I don't know what could you possibly want when the light is on that says court in session? I don't care. I think I assume if it's important enough for you to come in, I can stop what I'm doing. Oh. And Mr. Wiley
Yes.
had the opportunity to witness us in our absolute glory and splendor.
Been a pleasure so far.
Yeah. That's what they all say. We had no idea that Mr. Nolan was even expecting. It came as a complete surprise to us.
Yeah, he definitely was not expecting this soon. It was supposed to be not too premature, not any medical issues, but it's supposed to be at least another week.
Some of these babies, they just get antsy and they decide they want to come see us sooner. As soon as Mr. Batar pops out, I'll recall your case. I'm just going to try to get some of my other stuff done.
Okay.
Thanks. This is 21 RP 026490T. This is City of Romulus versus Corey Faison. This matter was scheduled for arraignment and pretrial at 9 o'clock. It's now 11:47 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, matter will be scheduled for show cause. This is 2109040D. It's the City of Romulus versus Brenda Simmons. This matter was scheduled for pretrial at 9:10 a.m. It's now 11:48 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant has failed to appear this morning. This is not her first failure to appear. In as much as this is an enhanced alcohol, reckless driving, and a failure to stop for the police after a property damage accident, this court will issue a bench warrant, 5,000, 10%. This is 22RP00148OM. This is City of Romulus versus Kanisha Jackson. The matter was scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 9:10 a.m. It is now 11:49 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, the matter will be scheduled for show cause. This is 20RP026320M, 220112OM, and 2201100110OM. These are all City of Romulus versus Shantanique Gori. These matters were scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 9:20 a.m. It is now 11:49 a.m. Defendant having failed to appear, there being a disorderly and malicious destruction of property, another disorderly and assault and battery, the crimes being assaultive in nature. Defendant previously having failed to appear, this court will have a bench warrant issued, 5,000, 10%. Are we ready on Sanchez?
We are, Your Honor.
21BL00568B, City of Belleville versus Sanchez. May I have your appearances, please?
John Wiley for the people.
Daniel Batar on behalf of Ms. Sanchez, Your Honor. We'll waive a formal reading. Stand mute, please.
Ms. Sanchez, state your name for the record.
Serena Sanchez.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the adjourned pretrial in this matter. How are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, Ms. Sanchez is trying to get proof that her license was valid the day she was issued this citation, so we're asking for a pretrial at a later date.
This court's next Belleville date is March the 17th, 2022 at 10:40 a.m. That's back with me, courtroom number 1. I believe that this was the reason why the case was adjourned previously. Make a notation to file that defendant seeking information regarding validity of the license on the offense date of 9/5/2021. Anything else, Mr. Wiley?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Batar?
What was that time again, Judge?
10:40 a.m. Back with me,
Thank you.
courtroom number 1.
Mr. Wiley, do you have anything you could send me that shows her license was not valid on that date?
I will send you everything I have.
Thank you, sir.
Anything else, Mr. Wiley?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Batar?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Ms. Sanchez, before you leave, you have an outstanding matter with this court. You owe $200 and it was due on January 3rd. Please contact our collections department. Oh, ma'am, we can actually move you into the breakout room to discuss this $200 with our collection department, okay?
All right.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Batar,
Ms.
that concludes
Sanchez.
our docket.
Ms. Sanchez, I'm going to text you right now so you have my name and number. I need you to call me when you get that proof, okay? Nope, she's gone.
I'm sorry, Mr. Patari, Mr. Wiley, that concludes our docket unless you want to hang around for our failure to appear. Have a good day.
Yeah, it's
Thank you,
been a
Judge.
pleasure. Thanks.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you. This is 22 RP 00188A and B. These are City of Romulus versus James Mosley. These matters were scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 9:40 a.m. It's now 11:53 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. Underlying crimes, allegations being a firearm in the vehicle. Failure to disclose CCW to an officer. Matters will be scheduled for show cause. These are 21 RP 02214 A and B, 21 RP 02260 OM. These are City of Romulus versus David Vernon Banks. These matters were scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 9:50 a.m. It is now 11:54 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, crimes not being assault in nature, matter will be scheduled for show cause. These are 21BB02085A. 21, that was a show cause for a failure to appear in the Van Buren case. Today's case would have been 21BL00935 A and B. City of Belleville versus Daryl Garrett. These matters were scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 10:10 a.m. It's now 11:35 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, crimes being driving while license suspended, civil infraction, no insurance, not assault in nature. Matter will be scheduled for show cause. This is 200892OM. It's the City of Romulus versus Donald Foreman. Today is a day and time scheduled for arraignment pretrial in this matter. It was scheduled for 10:10 a.m. It is now 11:35 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. Allegation being a retail fraud, driving while license suspended. There is already a warrant in place on this case. I'm sorry, the 200892OM was actually a Van Buren Township case that was subject to show cause for failing to appear previously. There is a warrant on the file already. Today's case was 22BL00040OT, City of Belleville versus Donald Foreman. The court will leave the warrant in place on the 0892 case and schedule the Van Buren matter for show cause in as much as it is a driving while license suspended, not assaultive in nature. This is 20 RP 03442OM. This is City of Romulus versus Najee Goodman. Today is the day and time set for the pretrial in this matter. Defendant has had previous failures to appear this morning. He appeared, Mr. Goodman appeared on February 8, 2022 in an unrelated matter. He was advised of this date. Has failed to appear. Underlying allegation is of assault and battery based on Mr. Goodman's failure to appear history and this crime being assaultive in nature. This court will issue a bench warrant, 5,010%. This is 21 RP 02640 OM. This is City of Romulus versus Desmond Dupree. Today is the day and time set for show cause and arraignment pretrial in this matter. It was scheduled at 10:40 a.m. It is now 10:58 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear again in this matter. Bench warrant 5,000, 10%. This is 21BL00537 OT. This is City of Belleville versus Joe Nelson the fourth. This matter was scheduled for show cause and arraignment pretrial this morning at 9:30 a.m. It's now 9:59 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear and having previously failed to appear in this matter. Bench warrant shall issue 5,000, 10%. This is 22 RP 00162, City of Romulus versus Robert Geeter. The matter is scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 9:30 a.m. Defendant has failed to appear. The underlying allegation is loitering. Matter will be scheduled for show cause. Mary Ann, that is the last file I have. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Do you want me to take us down?
I'll do it in, oh, yep, if you would, please.
Sure.